How do you stop carrying this pain? Hello, hello, welcome back or welcome to Soul Whispers with Michelle. I am so happy to have you here with me. This is a soul-led message, so if it doesn't resonate, feels confusing, or you're fighting with it in any sort of way, please, please leave it behind for the soul that it's meant to find. May love hold you, may truth guide you, and may you be released from whatever is not yours. And so it is, my friends. All right, let's see how to stop carrying the pain by examining the emotion that is asking for your attention most strongly right now. Reconcile. Reconcile, man. That's kind of how it, like when I, in my head, that's like the voice that came out with that. Interesting. So I don't know if you would call it emotion, but there's something right now that you're not willing to forgive. So maybe it's anger, because I am also noticing the like spikes on pineapples. Maybe something sharp, like you're being protective right now and you're not ready to forgive. Although I think there's an actual forgiveness card in this deck. Oh, I did just hit it twice and I keep... All right, so what's the difference between... Oh, you have to forgive first in order to reconcile. Okay. You may not even be reconciling with a person, but to reconcile like wholeness within yourself. What a lot of people don't realize, or maybe just don't think too deeply about, is the fact that when you hold a grudge and you're unwilling to forgive someone, it also means you're unwilling to give up the pain or anger or emotion that's associated with that forgiveness. You would rather hold on to that emotion than forgive someone and move past it. And so I feel like it's not only reconciling and with another person, or it could be that, but it also can be reconciling within yourself. I almost see it like a body with a black hole in it. Like or like, you know, like Swiss cheese, like it's taking a part of you. All right. So what triggered or activated this emotion? What triggered or activated this emotion? That's interesting. Guides. It's so funny. This is giving a very different energy. I say that because the same cards have been coming out a lot, and this spread is like opening new cards. Okay, anyhow and anyway. What triggered or activated this emotion? Guides. You're angry at somebody who was supposed to guide you. And I would assume that you feel that they failed you and you're not able to forgive them failing you. So it obviously must have cost you. Something happened that they either didn't prevent, or when it happened, they didn't support you in the way that you needed. And you are angry about that and haven't been able to forgive that. What deeper wound, fear, or memory is connected to this feeling? Meaning, what's the real reason? People make mistakes. You can't deny that even if this message is resonating for you, that somebody did make a mistake, that you in your life have made mistakes. And you may say that I've never made this big of a mistake. The thing is, you really don't necessarily know. We encounter people sometimes in our lives that we may never see ever again, be it at a, a rest stop that we'll never be in again, or just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you actually don't know how you affected somebody else sometimes. So there is actually that perspective. I feel like that kind of completed the point. I mean, the biggest point, getting back to the fact that you too have made mistakes. So the point of the matter is that I think there's a deeper layer, that this surface level thing that you're currently angry about triggered a more, like a vulnerability that you had. All right, so let's see what deeper fear or memory is connected to this feeling. Dreams. It gives me this feeling that that you thought they were going to make your dreams come true. And they didn't. And that caused, this is where this anger is coming from. Because it was deeper than you made a mistake and you didn't help me or support me, or you should have foreseen something. But it's almost like they were guiding you towards, they were supposed to guide you towards your dream. What is the emotion trying to protect you from? So what is this anger that you feel trying to protect you from? Ooh, right away I heard accountability. Taking accountability for your part in it. Pardon me. I understand that can be difficult to hear, and I also understand how hard it is. It's hard for me to do that too. But it's the best medicine, to be able to take some sort of accountability, because again, this is what helps you reconcile and release this and move on from it. But there's like some part you don't want to play in it. Maybe it's because, I'm not really sure, but there does have something to do with accountability. Let's see what card comes out with that, but okay. So what is this emotion trying to protect you from? We have accountability. Oh, okay. So that's what I was thinking. Joining forces. If you can see up here in this corner, there are puzzle pieces, and the puzzle pieces don't come together. The forces don't join until you can take accountability, because that solves the puzzle for you. But the anger isn't allowing you to do that. It's not allowing you to make the shift that you need to make, because you're busy blaming somebody else. And again, this doesn't mean that someone didn't harm you or affect you in a negative way. It's not saying that. It's just saying that they did do that, but you played some sort of part in that. And that is where the accountability needs to come. But there's a tremendous amount of wisdom in there for you to take away from that. What belief is feeding or sustaining this emotional attachment? What belief is feeding or sustaining this attachment? We have breaking patterns and control. Hold on a sec. All right, we're back. So we have breaking patterns in control for what belief is feeding or sustaining this emotional attachment? All right, let me talk this through because part of it's not making sense. We have breaking patterns. I think we all kind of understand that. But how would breaking patterns be feeding the emotional attachment to anger? And then we have control. And this is a lot of like riding the waves, having high emotional intelligence. Okay, I feel like this is, you need to break a pattern of, I don't know why, but what came into me was like some sort of family patterning around anger. So it's weird to say this because, again, I don't know why, it just is what's coming through for me, is the reason you're unable to break this pattern is because of the examples and experiences of the environment and the people in it around you. So I think there's I don't know, the positive side of this, or what is asking for you is to be more emotionally intelligent, meaning, you know, you're angry, you are irate, you are sad, you are whatever you are. But it's being calm enough to know, and basically riding the wave, right? Like the surfer. You're riding whatever wave it is. It's like you understand why you're feeling this way. Logically, you may understand, like, for example, somebody's older grandparent passing away. Say they're like 100 years old. You can't, there's logic to go with it. This person lived a really long life. They were starting to deteriorate. So this was actually a blessing, that they don't have to go through anymore, or that they're going through some sort of illness in that way. And it's a blessing that they don't have to go through the pain anymore or suffer anymore. But just because those things are true doesn't make them any less painful. So just because you can understand that this is the time in life for it to go, there's still grief from the fact that it's gone. And this is where that emotional intelligence comes from, because you can ride the wave, understanding like eventually this is going to go away. You know, grief passes, you know that that it takes time. And you're just kind of riding with it. And because you're riding with this wave that's come out in whatever, it's a wave, well, for you in this collective particularly, it's the wave of anger and how to ride that thing through. Understanding why you're angry. And I think this might be the hard part for you. Because you're angry, it's like, I think there's a part of you that completely understands your role in it and does actually take accountability. But what's happening is like, but you're like, but I'm still angry. And I think it just like I said, the other things as it related to the emotion sadness, it's the same thing with anger. You can rationalize, okay, well, if I wouldn't have done that, they wouldn't have done this, and then we wouldn't be in this position, right? And again, that's not saying that the other person should have reacted a certain way or done a certain thing, but you also understand that you played some sort of role in it. And I feel like maybe the confusion here is coming in because you understand all of that, but you're still angry. And you just need to, it feels like you just need to ride that wave. It's like, I know eventually the anger feels like it's going to go, a different direction. But it's like you have to let it subside. Alrighty. What part of your identity has become attached to this emotion? Your foresight. What part of your identity has become attached to this emotion? This is about foresight for me, or basically when I say foresight, you know how it's like you can kind of think through how something is going to operate. And a lot of it sometimes, like, it is just experiences that you've gone through where you see similar patterning. And you're like, okay, well, when I see this type of thing happen, usually X happens too. That's foresight. So I don't know what that would have to do with anger, though. Anger has become attached to your foresight. What part of your identity has become attached to this emotion? Anger. What part of your identity has become attached to anger? Foresight. I feel like there's interference here. Like you're not actually seeing what's going to happen. It's like this, I was brought back to that guide again. This person that was supposed to help you with your dreams didn't do that. And so I feel like you almost assume because it didn't happen that it's not going to happen. Like, and it's because like your foresight is blocked. And a lot of times it has to do with mental constructs or your beliefs. What do you believe? And your mind can only go as far as you are open to go. Like if you believe in something, we have something in our brain called the reticular activating system, and it is in charge of collecting information, but it collects information based on your beliefs. It's going to reinforce things that you believe. So, if that, and I think this is affecting your mindset or that belief, and this anger towards the guy that didn't help you is affecting your ability to see your future, but I mean like a future where you feel fulfilled even, or feel success. What truth have you avoided seeing clearly? We have cleanse and creativity. That there's, again, this is coming up that some sort of belief that needs to be cleared in order for your creativity to go, which is in part that third eye, your foresight. Like, okay, then this can happen, and this can happen, and this can happen, and the ideas can open up, and then you pick a path, and then and more stuff opens, right? So creativity will come, but there's something that's got to get cleaned out that directly has to do with the anger associated with this guide that was helping you create a dream. Where are we? What wisdom or knowledge is this emotion helping you learn? How to be stable, how to feel stable. Well, I could see that, because anger can make you unhinged. Like you kind of lose it for a little bit, and it's like you're, I don't know, it's like you get so angry you become untethered. So I think that because we already talked about the emotional intelligence that's really wanting to come in to break your patterning. And it also is going to give you a lot more stability in your life, meaning you're not going to feel as afraid, right? That's like more confidence, more stable. What becomes possible if you release this emotional weight? You learn to trust more. So if you drop the anger, you would actually be able to trust more. That's funny, isn't it? Because it's like, well, that makes sense, I guess, because the anger is the wall that's keeping people out because you don't trust. But when you do trust, it creates it, or what we're saying, what becomes possible. When you do trust, you actually find out that you feel more safe. Is that word? More safe? You feel safer? That's better. All right. What practical action will help you process this emotion safely? What practical action will help you process this emotion safely? Celebrate, celebrate, dance to the music. It's almost like, okay, we have the reconcile, and then you basically have a card that's saying, like, go hang out with your friends and have fun. I feel like this is saying, like, you need to talk to this person that you're angry about, or maybe talk it through with a friend. I'm not really sure, because this is, again, it's a celebration card, but it's also typically when we're celebrating with people and we're connecting with people. So it feels like you need to connect with people. And perhaps the anger that you feel is stopping you from doing that in some capacity. What energy or pattern are you ready to release now? This is funny because this is going right underneath that breaking pattern card. We have crown chakra. What energy or pattern are you ready to release now? When I think of the crown chakra isn't necessarily you thinking, like what do I need to do, like actually thinking. The crown chakra, when turned on, is like, because that's more of almost the third eye, where you're thinking, but it's through your imagination, right? Like you're visually, it's like your imagination is that third eye. The crown chakra is kind of the information that comes in. And sometimes when we're too busy trying to make the connections using our imagination, we turn off the antenna basically for the information coming in. Meaning you're too busy running a frequency, let's say, that you're not opening up to any frequencies. In other words, you're not allowing another idea to come in because you're cutting yourself off from it. And so this card is, the crown chakra is really being open. It's kind of like, if you think, when I started feeling the whole opening my chakra, or really kind of, I don't know how to say that in a non, this is the only way I know how to explain it. It's like you're listening for an answer. Or for me, it's that, and that's kind of when I can hear the subconscious, or I can have that open station, so to speak, for the answer to come in. Or for imagination, or like for the third eye, if you want to call it, I'll look to the sky, or I suppose that's called scrying, but it's just kind of staring at something or through something. But for me, what that does is open up my imagination, and then like I'll start seeing a river or something, and I'm like, okay, let me follow that connection, and then all of a sudden I'm making logical connections to things. But I have to allow myself to just receive. So it's not about you thinking, where I feel like the third eye chakra can be. It's not necessarily, okay? But I feel like this is more mental stimulation than that crown chakra. The crown chakra to me is, well, I suppose it's the ideas coming in. And then those ideas get to the third eye to like show you the visual of it too. Yeah, I feel like it's like you're ready to stop finding the answer, and you're ready to just receive it. You know, when you're like, you know, the things like when you're trying to think of something so hard, the saying is like it's at the tip of your tongue or whatever, and you can't remember the name of something. And then all of a sudden, when you stop thinking of it, out of nowhere, boom, all of a sudden you know exactly what it is. It's very much what I'm talking. I can't believe it took me that long to try to get this out, but that's very much the pattern I feel you're ready to release, is having to figure it out and just allowing it to come to you without any pressure or anything like that. All right, finally, what emotional state is trying to emerge in its place? Well, that makes sense. Grounding. Just very calm. Calm, cool, collected, and I'm also feeling decisive. All right, my friends, that is what I have for you. If you felt very seen, if you felt a confirmation in this, I ask that you reciprocate, and my Venmo and PayPal are located in the description. If you would like to support this channel in a free way, liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel help these messages reach the souls that they're meant to find. Until the next whisper, my friends.